Hi there and welcome to your mat. Today we're going to be working on a little bit of internal and external rotations and a nice juicy slow flow. So meet yourself where you are. Everything is an invitation, and with that we'll get started on your back. So come to lie down on the back, knees bent, and for this we're going to bring our feet as wide as the mat and then bring our knees into touch in the center. And just begin that slight internal rotation of the hips to start. You might notice a little bit of discomfort. Maybe this feels really nourishing or natural for you. Right? For me, this is the unnatural rotation of my hips. My hips feel a lot more comfortable in external rotation. So allow yourself to rest into position and just taking notice of the physical body. And breathing into that which might be comfort or discomfort. Without judgment or criticism of your body, but just an awareness around it. Take 3 more big breaths here. Allowing yourself to arrive in your practice. Meeting yourself exactly as you are today. Then gently opening the knees. Begin to just windshield wiper the knees right to left. Just again, almost like you're lubricating the hips, getting a little bit of movement there. Our bodies shift and change on a daily basis as we experience life. And for me, my body is extremely tight, and my mind and my body are kind of resisting practice today. Again, I'm trying not to judge myself and just really take notice of that and be honest with that feeling. And inviting my body and my mind and my heart to get to the root of that resistance as I move on the mat today. Neutralize your hips. And from here, extend your right leg straight up to the ceiling. Roll out your ankle. And then interlace your hand behind your right thigh. Flex your toes to your nose and drive up and away from yourself with that right heel. You'll start to notice the hamstring create a little bit of space. So as space is created, maybe give it a gentle pull towards your rib cage and take up that space that was created. Release your right leg, cross your right ankle over your left thigh for a figure 4 position. Flex your right toes and gently press the right knee away from you, getting into a little bit of external rotation. Then interlace your hands behind your left thigh, lifting your left foot off of the ground. Give that left thigh a gentle pull, again, as you press the right knee away from you. So you've got these opposing energies here. Try and keep your tailbone flat on the ground. And then releasing the left thigh, Left foot comes back down to the floor, hands by your sides. Press your hips gently up for a reclined figure 4 bridge. Grounding down through the left heel to press the hips up and away from the ground. Again, right knee is pressing towards the ground. One more big breath here. Exhale, release your back all the way down to the floor. Right ankle uncrosses from the left thigh. And then extend your left leg straight up to the ceiling. Roll out that ankle. Get all those cracks out of the body. And release your hands behind left thigh or calf. Flex the left toes up towards the nose and drive away with your left heel. Breathe in and out to create space and length through the left side body, or rather back body. Couple more breaths. Release the left thigh and cross your left ankle over right. Figure 4, flex your left toes and gently drive the left knee away from you. Hands interlace behind the right thigh. Lift the right foot off the ground for your reclined pigeon, figure 4. Pull the right knee towards you. Press the left knee away from you. Feel that deep opening in the hip. We're just getting started. So already I'm noticing this is probably why I'm resisting this practice today. I just came off of 2 weeks of hosting yoga retreats, and there's a lot of processing left to do from what was felt and seen and heard. And I store my emotions in my hips. So resisting feeling really is probably what's happening. Right foot comes back down to the floor. Keep that figure 4 and lift the hips up to a bridge pose. Drive down through the right heel to lift the hips, and left knee driving down towards the floor. One more inhale. Release your back slowly to the floor. Exhale. Uncross left ankle from right thigh. And feet up to the ceiling, happy baby. We'll grab the outside edges of the feet. Pull the knees to the armpits. Again, working towards a flat spine on the ground. We can maybe rock side to side, get a little playful in your body to begin. As you release the bind from the bottom of the feet, hands come to the back of the knees. We'll gently start to rock and roll up and down the length of the spine a few times. And coming up to a seat, feet as wide as the mat and the knees are up. You're facing the front of your mat. I'm going to turn to face you just so you could see this nice rotation here. So facing the front of your mat. Arms come up and out like you're reaching for something in front of you. Crown of the head pulls up. We're going to drop both knees over to the right. Let the left glute lift up off the floor. And you'll see almost a 90 degree bend in both knees. That's what we're looking for. Come back through center. Exhale, drop your knees to the left. Right glute lifts and work towards that 90 bend. Couple more times. Inhale through center. Exhale to the right. Inhale through center. And exhale to the left. Good. One more time each side. Inhale. And exhale. And if you need your hands behind you, that's perfectly normal and absolutely acceptable. Everything's acceptable in your practice. Last time, dropping over to the left. And inhaling back through center. Cross your ankles and make your way to tabletop position. I'm going to turn back to the front of my mat here. Hands and wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. On the inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze, cow pose. On the exhale, cat pose, round the spine, tuck the chin to chest. Inhale, dropping belly, lifting gaze. Exhale, round the spine, chin to chest. Couple more on your own. Getting into any organic movement that's going to feel really good for your body. For me, it often looks like these big barrel rolls through the spine. Just kind of getting into all the crevices and cracks and places that we tend to neglect through the body. And find a nice neutral spine. Roll to the right hand and right knee, modified side plank. So right shin will pivot perpendicular to the length of your mat. Left leg lengthens, reach the left arm up, big breath. Extend the left arm over the ear on the exhale and open the side body. Take one more big breath. Circle the left arm back by the hip, making this full circle back to tabletop position. Keep the left leg long. Lift the left leg up from the floor. Take a big breath in. Kundalini squat, left knee kind of comes behind that right, squeezing the inner thighs. One more time, inhale, lengthen left leg. Exhale, draw left knee behind the right, Kundalini squat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knees meet in the center, cat pose, round the spine, chin to chest. Neutralize the spine. Pivot to the left knee and left hand, modified side plank. Left shin pivots, right leg lengthens. Reach the right arm up, take a big breath in. And right arm reaches over the ear, lengthening the side body, breath out. One more big breath. And circle the right arm back by the right hip. Right hand drawing back to the top of the mat for a single leg tabletop. Right leg stays extended as we lift it from the ground. Crossing right knee behind the left, Kundalini squat, inner thighs connect. Inhale, lengthen right leg. Exhale, Kundalini, right knee behind the left, squeeze inner thighs. Lengthen it out, inhale. Knees in tabletop, round the spine, cat pose, exhale. Neutralize the spine, tuck your toes, lift your hips. First downward facing dog. Pedal out your legs side to side. Fully lengthening the back of the legs. Spread your fingers wide, press away from the mat. Melt your heels towards the floor. Find stillness in this downward facing dog and just begin to notice your body and where your thoughts go. Can your thoughts be present with your body? On your inhale, lift high to your toes. Very slowly walking your feet all the way up to meet your hands. And we'll meet in a forward fold ragdoll position. Soft bend in the knees. Opposite hands will come to opposite elbows. Let the torso hang heavy over the tops of the thighs. And the crown of the head to hang towards the floor. You can find slight movement, swaying side to side, bob up and down. Or if stillness is serving you in multiple ways, stay right there. Breathing in to create space in the back of the legs. Take one more full body breath in. And release the hands to the floor on the exhale if they're not already there. Bend your knees deeply and slowly begin to roll vertebrae by vertebrae all the way up to standing. Hips over knees, shoulders over hips. Sweep the arms up on the inhale breath. On the exhale, hands through heart center, forward fold, Uttanasana. Halfway to lift, lengthen the spine, crown of the head forward. Exhale, release, forward fold. Rise slowly all the way up to standing, maybe rolling up again like a rag doll. Arms lift up, gaze lifts up, inhale. This time, cactus the elbows, lift the chest up to the ceiling. Rise on the inhale breath. Forward fold, exhale. Halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Plank pose, step your feet back to the top of your push-up. And moving nice and slow. No reason to jump or hop unless you're feeling really spicy today. Shift forward slightly on the toes. Drop your knees. We'll keep the sit bones high as we lower the chest and the chin down, elbows squeezing up and back. Slide forward onto the belly and the hips, baby cobra. Lift the chest, keep the neck nice and long. Exhale, release forehead to the floor. Press your sit bones back to meet your heels. Quick child's pose. Tuck the toes and lift the hips, downward facing dog. Lift your right leg up behind you, three-legged dog. Bend your knee and open up your hip. Taking circles, finding rotation in that hip as that is where we are working today. And then straighten that right leg out, square your toes and your hip to the floor. Step through your hands, runner's lunge. Chest and chin pull up. Press down through the big toe mountain of that left back foot and feel your left hip flexor lengthen. Maybe even give your left glute a squeeze. One more breath. Keeping the right knee bent. Bring your hands to the left. Pivot to Skandasana. Again, keeping that right knee bent, sinking nice and low. Flex the left toes up. And walk your hands forward and let the chest round, really getting deep in these hips right away. One more big breath here. Bringing your hands back under your shoulders for a lifted chest. Pivoting back to the front of the mat, twisting low lunge. Left hand will plant, right arm comes up. Take a big breath in. Cactus that right elbow and open the chest up, breath out. One more inhale. One more big exhale. Drop the left knee, sweep the right arm back. And all the way up, low lunge. Arms come up, gaze lifts up. Cactus the elbows, squeeze the left glute and let your hips power you forward. Arms rise on the inhale. Plant your hands, downward facing dog. Back toe tucks under. Right away, lift your left leg up. Step through your hands, low lunge. Right knee drops. Arms come to an open twist. Left arm back, right arm forward. See if your gaze can follow that left thumb. Squeeze your inner thighs. One more breath. Left arm sweeps up, low lunge, inhale. Runner's lunge, tuck the back toe under. Lift your right knee from the ground. Take a big breath in. And stay for the breath out. One more inhale. I call it flamingo forward fold. Right heel will come to your butt. Nose pulls to the left knee. You're kind of in this one-legged flamingo stance. Pull your chest towards the left thigh and bow the crown of your head down. Right foot meets the left, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Extended mountain pose, rise all the way up to stand. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Halfway to lift, take a big breath in. Plank pose, step back, top of your push-up. Full inhale, perhaps a shift forward. Drop the knees, keep the butt high. Chest and chin lower down. This time, curling the heels to the butt. Sweeping the arms back like you're flying on your chest and chin. Take a big breath in. Release your toes down to the ground with them tucked. Lift your knees off the ground, still flying off the chest. Good. Point the toes, lower the hips and thighs. Locust pose, lift up. One more big breath in. Release to the floor, favorite cheek to the mat, breath out. Hands by the ribs, press yourself back, tuck toe child's pose. We'll lift the hips, downward facing dog. Lift your left leg high, bend your knee and roll that hip open. Stack the left hip on top of the right. And if it feels good, create those circles. The rotation within the hip, which is that focus of our practice today. When you feel good, let's straighten the left leg out, square the hip. Step through your hands, runner's lunge. Crown of the head pulling forward. Pressing firmly through that back right big toe mound. Taking a couple breaths here, maybe squeezing and activating your right glute. And keeping the left knee bent, we'll walk our hands and pivot to the right, Skandasana. Left knee is bent, right leg is extended straight. Flex your right toes up and walk your hands again forward and allow your spine to round. A couple deep breaths here. Really big groin and hip stretch, so allow yourself to feel it. And again, if you're like me and you're resisting it a little bit, just meet yourself there. Notice the resistance and breathe into the invitation to just drop that guard. Walk your hands back under your shoulders for a chest lift. Twisting low lunge, top of the mat, right hand plants, toes pivot forward, left arm lifts, big breath in. Cactus the elbow, twisting through the spine, breath out. One more inhale. Drop the right knee on the exhale. Left arm sweeps back and up, low lunge. Lift the arms up, take a big breath in. Cactus the elbows, hips draw forward, squeeze the right glute. One more breath. Arms rise, inhale, back toe tucks under, downward facing dog, plant your hands, press back. Right leg lifts right away. Step through your hands, low lunge, left knee drops. Arms come to an open twist, right arm back, left arm forward. Gaze perhaps following the right thumb. Inner thigh squeezing for stability. One more breath. Right arm sweeps back and up, low lunge, inhale. Runner's lunge, back knee lifts, exhale. Take one more big breath here. Flamingo forward fold, nose to your right knee, left heel to the sit bone, bow. Feet together, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Extended mountain pose, rise tall all the way up through standing. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Halfway lift, find length. Plank pose, plant your hands, step back, top of your push-up. Take a big breath in. Drop your knees, your chest, and your chin as you shift forward. Curl the heels to the sit bone. Arms sweep back, trying this move one more time. Tuck the toes under on the ground to lift the knees, flying on the chest and chin. Hip bones and thighs come down. Point the toes, lift to locust. Draw the shoulders back. One more breath. As you release down, opposite cheek to the mat, take a moment to pause. I'm a big vocalizing person in my practice, if you haven't noticed. I love the power of voice. Press back to child's pose and lift the hips to your downward facing dog. Right, for me, really letting my voice open up is just a little bit of extra release that I don't get without it. Take a big breath here in your downward facing. Lift the right leg. Step through runner's lunge. Big breath in and big breath out. Staying for one more round of breath. Keeping the right knee bent. Hands come over to the left, Skandasana. Now, using hands or no hands, right, here or here, slowly lower all the way down to your sit bones. Keep the right knee up and the left leg straight. Take a big breath in, and then drop the right knee in for that internal rotation on the breath out. We'll do that a couple more times. Inhale, knee lifts. Exhale, internally rotate. One more time. Pulling the right knee back up. Left hand will grab the front of the right ankle. Right arm reaching up. Let's find a big side body stretch, leaning over to the left. Maybe grabbing the big toe. Maybe not. Meet yourself where you are. Some days I can reach, some days I can't. One more big breath. Lifting back up through center. Hands or no hands. Lean the weight forward. Lift the butt up, Skandasana. Top of the mat, twisting low lunge. Left hand plants. Rotate the toes around. Lift the right arm up. Big body breath in. Cactus the elbow, breath out. Inhale, right arm lengthens. Drop the left knee. Right arm sweeps back. Low lunge. Come through center. Arms rise. Cactus the elbows. Press the hips forward. Heart lifts. Low lunge is the inhale. We lift back up. Back shin pivots perpendicular like we worked on in the beginning. Warrior two on the knees. Arms open up to a T. Gaze over the right front fingertip. Now squeeze your right heel and your left knee together and feel that extra lift through the inner thighs. That energetic pull. Left hand to the back of the mat, modified side plank. The right leg straightens. Reach your right arm over your ear. Cactus the right elbow. Spin your chest open to the ceiling. Right arm lengthens, looking to the back. Right hand will plant. Single leg table tuck. We'll keep the right leg long like we worked on in the beginning. Inhale, lift the right leg up from the mat. Exhale, Kundalini. Behind the left thigh, we squeeze. Lift right leg up again. Breathe in. Kundalini, right knee behind the left. Breathe out. Now, keep the knees here. Tuck both toes under. Your knees are crossed, and we'll lift the knees to hover. Dropping heels to the left. Right arm lifts. Flip dog. Feet make a number 11. Root through the heels and press the hips up. One more big breath. Bring the sit bones all the way down to the floor. Right elbow comes in. Look over your left shoulder to the back of your mat. We come to our Kundalini tabletop. Right knee comes behind the left. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Spread your ankles right to left. Create space. Press your sit bones back, Gomukhasana. Your left knee is on top of the right. Sit up nice and tall. This might be great for you. If this isn't working for your knees, you can extend that bottom leg. Otherwise, stay right here or take a big bow forward and down, nose to the left knee. You meet yourself where you are. Lift your chin away from your chest. Bring your hands behind you. Lean back onto the sit bones. Boat pose. Take a big breath in. Stay for the breath out. Lower your left heel to the floor. Lift your hips up, almost like a single leg reverse tabletop. Cross your right ankle over left thigh. Figure 4 reverse tabletop. Squeeze your shoulders behind your back body. Take one more breath. And lower the sit bones to the floor. Keep your figure 4. Roll to the outer edge of your left hip. And turn your left fingertips to face the front of the mat. Reach your right arm up. Look over your left shoulder. Figure 4 down dog back to the top of the mat. Hips will lift. Press the sit bones up and back. Lift high to your left toe. Drop your left knee down. Keep your figure 4, and you'll also tuck your right toe under. So in this figure 4 tabletop position, micro bend your elbows to press up to a knee stand, arms up, squeeze the glutes. Left hand down to the right heel. Take a big side lean as the right arm reaches over the right ear. Keep squeezing the glutes. Arms rise, inhale. Hands plant. Lift your back knee up. Now we're in a figure 4 plank pose, which might feel funny. Keep your right knee pressing up to the ceiling. Slowly shift forward. Keep the body flat. Lower all the way to the belly, keeping the figure 4. Your hips are down. Untuck your back toes. Hands come out nice and wide. Fingertips to the floor, elbows up. Press your chest up. Keeping the hip bones plugged down to the floor. You'll feel a big hip opener in the right side body. One more big breath. As you release, uncross the figure 4, lower the chest down. Hands plant by the ribs. Press your sit bones back to your heels with the toes tucked. Downward facing dog. Take a big breath in. And an exhale out. Lift your left leg up to the sky. Inhale. Runner's lunge. Step through the hands. Chest and chin pull up for a couple rounds of breath. Keeping the left knee bent. Walk your hands to the right. Skandasana. Right toes are flexed up. Weight into the left heel. Using hands or no hands, lowering down to the sit bones. Take a big breath in. The left knee is still up. And on that exhale, we drop the left knee in for the internal rotation. Inhale, the left knee lifts up. Exhale, drop for the internal rotation. One more time, just like that. Lift it up. And exhale, drop the knee in. Last time, left knee lifts up. And your right hand will grab the front of the left ankle. Left arm reaching up for that big side body bend. Left arm over left ear. Keep the left shoulder rotating on top of the right so you get this big side stretch through the left side body. One more big breath. Gently lifting the chest up. Hands or no hands, we lean forward, lift the sit bones back up into Skandasana. Top of the mat, twisted low lunge, pivot on the toes, right hand plants, left arm up. Cactus the left elbow. Reach it up, inhale. Drop the right knee. Sweep the arms up, low lunge. Big breath in. Cactus the elbows, squeeze the glutes, breath out. Inhale, low lunge. On the knees, warrior two. Back shin pivots, hips and shoulders open. Squeeze left heel towards right inner kneecap and vice versa. Take another breath. Right hand to the back of the mat. Straighten the left leg, modified side plank. Left arm reaches over the ear. Cactus the left elbow, spin the chest open to the ceiling. And then lengthen left arm out, reaching for the back of the mat. Single leg tabletop. Pivot the right shin lengthwise. Lift the left leg up. Breathe in. Kundalini squat. Left knee behind the right. Breathe out. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, Kundalini. Hold. Tuck both toes under. Lift your knees to hover. Drop both heels to the right. Left arm lifts. Flip your dog. Big breath in. And big breath out. Press away from the floor. One more inhale. Hinge at the waist. Drop the sit bones down. Left elbow comes in. Flipping over the right shoulder. Cross-kneed. Tabletop position. Left knee behind the right. Take a big breath in. And pause just to notice. Spread your feet from right to left. Sit bones press back. Gomukhasana. Again, taking the variation that feels best for your knees and your body. Big inhale. Staying here or bowing forward, nose to right knee. There's the thing about yoga. I already feel better. My body is now opening. I'm not resisting. I never regret a yoga practice. But sometimes it takes a few minutes to feel that, right? Lift the chin away from the chest. Sit up tall. Hands plant behind you. Roll back onto the sit bones and lift the legs to a modified or assisted boat pose. Chest pulls up, breathe in. Lower your right foot to the floor. Press the hips up into a reverse table. Figure four, left ankle over right thigh. Flex your left toes, drive the left knee down. Take a big breath in. And slowly hinging at the waist, lower the sit bones back down. Roll to the outside of your right hip. Right fingertips turn to face the front. Left arm reaches up. Big move here. Lift that hip. Figure four down dog, top of your mat. High to your right toe. Drop your right knee down. Tuck both toes under. That left front toes tucked under. Micro bend the elbows to press up to a knee stand. Squeeze the hips forward. Right hand to the bottom of left heel. Left arm reaches up and over. Hands back to that tabletop position. Pressing up to a figure four plank. Right toe tucks under. Drive the left knee up. And then slowly lower to the belly, keeping that figure four. Walk your hands wide, fingertips to the floor. Peel the chest up. Squeeze the glutes and press the hip bones down. And if this is pinching your low back, just lower the chest slightly. Take another breath. And as you release the chest down, uncross ankle from thigh, release. Shimmy your hips side to side maybe. Hands plant by the ribs. Press back, child's pose. Take a big breath. And step. Good. Downward facing dog. And we'll come into some deep stretch. Similar to the flow we've been taking, lift your right leg. Step through to your runner's lunge. Stay for a breath. Walking the hands to the left. Keep the right knee bent, Skandasana. Slowly lower all the way to the sit bones, hands or no hands. Take a big breath in. Find that internal rotation. Drop your right knee in. Now right hand will grab the outside of your right ankle. Pull the right knee back. So the right knee is kind of in line with the right hip or further back. Now begin to walk your hands forward to the inside of those thighs, and you'll feel a little bit of stickiness here. I guess I should speak for myself. I feel a bit of stickiness here. That resistance meets me again, and I breathe through it. And it's just the process of life and of yoga. Yoga teaches us what life is just like. We open and then we close, and then we open and then we close. We're willing and then we find resistance, and we have to breathe through the resistance, and then we open again and then we resist it again. It's a cycle, and it's called being human. And the more we learn to breathe with our humanness here on the mat, we teach ourselves how to do it off the mat, and it's a beautiful thing. One more big breath. Soften. And then begin to lift the chest back up. Ooh. Right hand will grab the outside of the right ankle, kind of pulling it back through center. Pop the right knee up. Keep the right hand on the right ankle. You're going to carry it all the way to cross over the left thigh, facing the back of your mat. Reach the left arm up and twist. Left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Sit up nice and tall. Gaze over your right shoulder. One more breath. As you unwind, left hand comes all the way back behind the left hip. Fingertips face the front of the mat. Roll to the outside edge of your left hip, and then right toes turn to face away from you. Right arm reaches long, horizon lunge. Lift the hips, press through the right heel. Right outer hip goes up. Exhale, lower. All right, one more time. We lift up into that horizon lunge. Look to the top of your mat. Right hand plants. Pivot your toes to the front. Pyramid pose. Square your hips, center your weight. And bow forward and down. And it's okay if you're not centered on your mat. I'm way off to the right side. When are we ever centered? Meet yourself where you are. Let it be a little messy. Halfway lift your chest. Walk your hands slightly forward. Assisted warrior 3, wrists under the shoulders. Left toes flexing down. Create some length. The more I press into my right heel into the floor, the bigger stretch I feel into my right leg. Feet come together, forward fold, top of your mat. Rise all the way to stand, extended mountain pose. Hands through heart center, take that forward fold, Uttanasana. Halfway lift, find length. Plank pose, top of your push-up. In that pose we've been working on, I call it nightingale pose. Shift forward, drop your knees, chest in, chin, butt stays high. Squeeze the heels into the butt, sweep the arms back, nightingale. Toes tuck under, lift the knees, lower the hips and thighs, locust pose, squeeze up. Big breath in, exhale, release. Hands by the ribs, child's pose with tucked toes to downward facing dog. Lift your left leg up, big breath in. Runner's lunge, step through the hands. Feel the inhale. Walk the hands to the right. Keep the left knee bent, Skandasana. Lower to the sit bones, take a big breath in. Left knee drops into that internal rotation. Left hand grabs the outside of the left ankle. Pull your left knee back in line with your left hip and walk your hands forward and in between your thighs. Find a few breaths here. Allow yourself to soften. And notice where you're tensing in your body. Send the breath there. Take one more big breath. Slowly begin to lift your chest. Left hand grabbing this left ankle to pull the knee in to where it started. Left knee comes up. And swing left leg all the way outside. Foot plants outside of the right thigh. Reach the right arm up. Take a big breath in. Twisting to the left, right elbow links outside of left knee. Sit up tall through the spine. Inhale. Twist and gaze. Twist and gaze over left shoulder. Exhale. One more breath here. As you unravel, right hand comes all the way behind your right hip. Fingertips face the front. Roll to the outer edge of right hip. Left toes face away from you. Horizon lunge. Press your hands and left heel to lift up and reach over. Exhale, lower. We got one more like that. Lift up, horizon lunge. Left hand reaches for the front. Toes face forward, pyramid pose. Square the left hip back, right hip forward, bow nose to knee. Halfway lift your chest, hands walking forward slightly, assisted warrior 3. Flex the right toes down, crown of head pulls long. Feet together, forward fold. Rise all the way up, extended mountain pose. I'm going to step to my mat. Big breath in, forward fold, breath out. Halfway to lift, breathe in. Lifting the heels, come high onto the toes. Lower your sit bones to meet your heels, toe squat. Separate your knees, lower all the way onto the butt. And into Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together. Knees apart wide in external rotation. Take a big breath in. Fold forward and down on the breath out. Press your knees down to the floor. Pull your heart to your toes to your heart. Good. One more big breath. Slowly lift the chest up. Extend both legs out in front of you long. Shimmy side to side and remove the extra love, as I call it, from underneath the sits bones. Reach your arms up and around. Take a big breath in. Fold forward and down. Breath out. Few breaths here to notice and reconnect with the body if you feel any sort of disconnection. Slowly begin to roll your chest up, making your way all the way onto your back. As you lie down, legs will go straight up to the ceiling. Take a big breath in. On the exhale, separate the legs. We'll call it a scissor crossing. Right knee comes in front of the left. Bend the knees and reach your hands up for the feet. So reclined Gomukhasana legs. Press your tailbone down to the floor. Hug your knees in towards the belly button. And give those feet a gentle pull. One more breath there. And gently releasing the feet, unraveling to a wider position of the legs, scissoring the other way, left knee in front of the right, bend the knees, reaching up for the feet, recline Gomukhasana. Tailbone flat, knees into the belly button. And one more breath there. Releasing the feet, legs falling open. Bend the knees, happy baby, one more time. Maybe rocking side to side for a little bit of movement. Hugging both of your knees into your chest. Bring your nose up to meet your knees and take a last full breath. Shavasana. Legs long and open, palms open to receive, and rest. Gently find stillness. No judgment, no criticism. Again, just noticing right where we are today. One of the biggest lessons that this practice teaches me is that just because I'm resisting doesn't mean that I'm wrong or I'm bad. It just means that I'm human. And there's something perhaps that's blocking me, or I'm blocking some sort of feeling or not feeling. And being in my body allows me to peel the layers back to just take notice of what that might be. And the noticing is the practice. And then I get to decide whether or not there's something I need to do about it or not. But the noticing, that's important. So notice yourself here, without judgment. Exactly as you are. You wiggle your fingers and your toes, deepen your breath. Arms reach up over the head, full body stretch. And roll over to your left side, taking this last moment of pause. And pressing yourself up to a comfortable seat. Eyes can remain closed or a slight parting, tall through the spine. Meet yourself again. Palms together at the heart, slight bow of the head in gratitude for this beautiful practice that teaches us if we allow it to. For this community that we're creating, and for the person that we are, and the person we're becoming. Take a deep breath into her or him or they, and let it go. Thumbs up to your third eye center, where the light and the love in me sees and honors that same light and love in each of you. Namaste. Namaste, yogis. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope to see you again on your mat soon. And with that, see you later from Utah.